What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the New York Comic Con exclusive 112 collective Tiger Stripe Wolverine figure from Mezco. And I've had this figure for a few weeks, but I haven't really been in a crazy rush to review it because there's already a lot of good reviews for him out there, and he's been out since October, so I wasn't really in a rush, but I was excited about him, so I do want to talk about it, so let's get right into it. Here's a quick look at the packaging. I always like the packaging that Mezco uses for their exclusive figures because it's a lot smaller than the standard packaging that they use, and it still looks really good. Like right here in the front, you got a cool little X logo, you got the Mezco exclusive logo in the corner, and then you have all the information that they usually put on the figures. And then on the side, you got a little X logo, and it says Wolverine, and then on the back you have some real simple Wolverine artwork, and it looks really nice to me. And the package doesn't fold open like the regular Mezco figures. It just kind of it just opens at the bottom, and you could slide the tray out with the figure. So it's pretty cool. I am a fan of this packaging, but let's get right into the figure. So as usual, let's start off with his articulation. His head is able to move side to side, and you've got some nice tilt to it because he actually has movement at where the head and the neck meet and where the neck and the torso meet. So you get a lot of nice moving to kind of rotate around, tilt to the side. And then you could get him to look up to about there. You could get him to look down to about there. And then for his torso, he has the two torso joints like most Mezco figures do. You got the torso joint here in the center and then at the waist. But mine doesn't seem to move too much at the waist. So most of the movement on my figure comes from the mid-torso. But it does twist. Twist a little bit, get it to tilt to the side a little bit, not too much, it's a little tight, but yeah, you can get it to go to the side a little bit. Then you have a pretty good amount of ab crunch here. You could crunch to about there, then he could lean back to about there. Yeah, I'm not sure if the the waist joint is restricted because of the belt, but yeah, I really can't get it to move too much. It moves a little bit, but not very much. I'm not sure what's up with that, but it's really tight. But anyways, for his arms, well, first off, for his shoulder pads here, these are actually articulated, so they could kind of move up to right there, or they could come down. And this is really cool. So they have this shoulder joint attached to the shoulder itself, so it doesn't really get in the way of the arm articulation. So if you bring it down, you could still get his arm to go all the way around. And that's really cool how they did that. I like that a lot. And then his arms could come out to the side. Then you have upper bicep swivel. All the joints on my Wolverine figure were really tight, especially in the arm. But yeah, you have the upper bicep swivel. You have the double jointed elbows, which are really tight too. Then you have a swivel at the wrist, and then a hinge at the wrist. And then for his legs, they're pretty much able to do the splits. They come all the way out to the side. They come up to the front a pretty good amount. They can move to the back a pretty nice amount. And then you have the upper thigh swivel. You have double jointed knees. And then you have kind of a swivel at the lower leg, but it's really, really tight. And then the foot is able to swivel side to side. It's able to point down to the front to about there, go up to about there, and then it could kind of rock side to side. They did a really good job on his ankles too. I'm glad that there's been a lot of improvement on Mezco's figures when it comes to the ankles, especially with Wolverine and Deathstroke. So really cool, really good job there. And that's about it for the articulation. It has all the articulation you would need for a Wolverine figure, so I'm very happy about that. So on to the accessories. He does come with some cool stuff, including a bunch of hands. So let's take a look at those, starting off with the fists with the claws retracted. And then he has a pair of fists with the claws popped out. And then he has a pair of open, like dramatic hands. And then he comes with a pair of gripping hands, but he doesn't come with anything to grip. I know the standard release is going to come with the sword, but this version didn't. And he comes with 3 heads, the first one being just like a plain looking emotionless face. And then the second one, his face is like a crazy pissed off growl. And the third head is an unmasked head with a cheesy kind of goofy looking smile. And then he comes with the mask of Ogun. And this looks really cool too. It's red with some black shading. It's a really soft plastic. And it's not meant to go onto Wolverine's face or anything like that. You definitely can't get it on there, as you can see. Like, you kind of smash it on there, but it comes right off. Won't stay on there at all, not even on the unmasked head. So I'm pretty sure it's not, you know, supposed to go on a Wolverine or anything, but it is a very cool accessory for him to come with, and it looks very good, so pretty cool. And now here's a closer look at the figure itself. And I know that they didn't stay 100% true to the look of the Tiger Stripe Wolverine, but I believe that they captured his essence pretty good. And some of the changes they made I thought were pretty cool. Like, I like the way the gloves look. They have a little bit more going on than the classic look would. You have like a lot of straps and buckles and things in there, and then even right here it looks like there's a metal plate coming out, or on top of where like the claws would be coming out, which kind of makes sense, you know. And then down here at the boots, you have like, you know, a lot more going on. You got like laces and, you know, buckles and all kinds of cool stuff going on. So it doesn't look like the straight up classic version, but it still like kind of makes sense, and it still kind of feels like a classic version of Tiger Stripe Wolverine. Aside from those two changes, everything else is pretty much classic. You got the red belt, and I guess they could have gone with the belt without utility pouches, but you know, it's okay. It still looks really good. And yeah, everything else, it looks really nice. Shoulder pads look a little bit different, I guess you could say. I really like the way they did this articulated shoulder thing. One thing though, down here, I kind of get worried about the way the cloth is. You could kind of see it's not starting to get ripped, but it's kind of messed up there. And they have like some kind of material covering the cloth there, because otherwise it would just be like loose threads, and eventually it would get messed up. So that would prolong the integrity of the cloth here. But it does still kind of look chewed up, as you could see right in there. But I really don't see a way they could have prevented that. But yeah, overall the figure looks pretty good. And a lot of people had a problem where you could see the stitching through the rubber overlay thing here. You could see the stitching, and that was horrible actually. Mine doesn't look as bad right here, but you could definitely see the yellow stitching under the blue. And yeah, that really sucks. And that a lot of people had that on theirs, and some people have had some luck contacting Mezco and getting replacements. So if you got a Wolverine and yours looks bad like that, I definitely suggest sending them an email and trying to get a new one. I have a new one on the way right now, so they were pretty responsive when it came to you know, to fixing the mistakes they made, because I think that was something really unacceptable, how many people had the problem with the crotch area there. And hopefully the replacement that comes in doesn't have that problem. But yeah, aside from that quality control issue, I have no issues with this Wolverine at all in terms of how he looks. Oh, and what else is really cool is there's actually sculpted hair right here. It's pretty interesting. You could actually feel it when you touch it there. And yeah, everything else is really awesome on this figure. And the plastic over, I would have preferred that they went with just trunks like they did on the Dark Knight Returns figure. But in this case, I mean, more so on Superman. On here, I do wish that they did it, but it's not horrible that they didn't. I mean, I'm okay with this stuff, other than what it caused down in here. But other than that, it looks pretty cool. And yeah, it looks really good. Other than, I do have a few snags here and there, but that's kind of, I mean, they're not huge, ugly snags, but they're just little things that you could see if you look close. That's kind of to be expected with some Mezco figures at this point. But yeah, for the most part, he's an awesome looking figure. No huge gripes at all. I think the stitching looks good in the back here. And they kind of like have like rubber lines, you could see here, on top of the costume, so it just doesn't look so plain, I guess you could say. Same thing right here. I think it all looks really good, so. And for the head sculpts, I think 2 of the 3 that he came with are pretty much perfect. Like, I like this one a lot. There's not much going on. He doesn't have like a crazy facial expression or anything, but I do like it a lot. Whoa, you could actually even see his like ears under there, kind of. Whoa, that's crazy. I just noticed that. Damn, that's awesome. But yeah, this head sculpt is great. This is probably my favorite out of the 3. Am I going crazy, or do you see ears right there? Like under the you know, the mask. Dang, that's awesome. But yeah, really nice looking head sculpt. And then you have this head sculpt with the angry facial expression. And I think this one looks pretty cool too, but I think the teeth could have been done a little bit better. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with this face sculpt. You got a really faint 5 o'clock shadow going on there. Really faint, but it looks like that's what they were going for. And yeah, this face sculpt is really good too. And the final head sculpt is the unmasked head. And this one looks okay. I'm just not crazy about it. It's well done, like all the details are nice, the hair is really cool, but I'm just not crazy about the facial expression. I don't like that goofy smile too much. It's fine, I don't hate it or anything, but I would have much preferred just like an angry grimace instead of like a, You know, I don't know why they'd have Wolverine smiling. That's cool and everything. It's not like he doesn't smile, but yeah, I don't know. I think I just would have preferred him with a plain, just angry face, you know? I think that would have been better. But like I said, I don't hate this one, and it is cool, just not my favorite. And another thing I wanted to take a minute to discuss were the claws. I think they look really nice. They're probably some of my favorite claws that I've seen on a 6-inch Wolverine figure. And I like the color and just the way they feel and everything. They do feel like a little stiff, like they could potentially break, so you got to kind of be careful with them. But they look really nice. They actually look like they're metal. And I'd say, like, if you take a look at the Marvel Legends Wolverine claws, which I think are fine, but I just don't like the color, and they kind of look like just, you know, cheap. But they're decent. They're not horrible. I do wish they were more silver. And then compared to the Revoltech ones, the Revoltech ones are nice, but they're more like, you know, exaggerated, and they have like a stylized look to them. But they do look cool. But I think just for a straight up, you know, Wolverine, just classic kind of claws, I think that the Mezco one definitely has the better ones. And yeah, they're actually like tapered at the end, like sharpened almost, and they do feel kind of like, you know, like they could poke you a little bit. So they're really nice. I do like the way the claws that came out. So overall, I really love this figure, and if you saw my top 5 Mezco figures of 2017, you know that because I put him at number 3 behind Punisher and Deathstroke, and he's just an all-around awesome figure. I think that he captures the feel of Tiger Stripe Wolverine perfectly, even though it isn't 100% accurate to it, but I do like the changes that they made to him. The big drawbacks with him is the quality control issues that seem to be like with everybody. Almost everybody that I saw that got a Tiger Stripe Wolverine had this issue. Maybe not everybody, but like 70% of the people. But the one thing I'll give Mezco credit about is it seems like they're trying to replace all the bad ones that they have out there. I did see a bunch of people that just emailed them and got replacements soon after contacting them. And then even myself, I emailed them. I didn't hear anything back. Then like a week later, I got an email from them saying that one was on the way. So I'm still waiting for that. But I'm happy that they're doing something to try to fix that, because that's really unacceptable for like a $100 figure to have little quality control issues like that. But yeah, for the figure itself, it's a really good figure. I'm very happy to have it. I can't wait until Hasbro comes out with their upcoming Tiger Stripe Wolverine, and it's going to be really cool to compare that one, the Revoltech one, and the Mezco one to see which one is the best. It seems like they'll all be good for different reasons. You know, the Revoltech's going to have the best articulation. In my opinion, I think the Mezco one is going to look better, and it's going to kind of feel like a specialty thing. And then I think the Legends one is going to be like your go-to one to mess around and pose and play with, and just have in general awesome Wolverine figure for your 6-inch Legends display. So it'll be cool to have all three of those. I'm really looking forward to that figure. But yeah, for this figure, I love it. Very happy to have it. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And thank you very much. Peace.